Good day, Ma'am Sazan. We will discussing about the completion of accounting cycle. First is the preparation of a worksheet. So, na-discuss naman ni during face-to-face, mag-recap na lang ko gamay. First is, what is a worksheet? A worksheet is a paper or file where we list all the accounting information to help prepare financial statements. So, there are steps in preparing a worksheet. First one is write the heading. The second one is make the trial balance. The third one is add adjustments. The fourth, adjust the trial balance. The fifth is income statement section. The sixth one is the balance sheet. And the last one is check your work.
Worksheet illustration problem, we have trial balance, adjustment, adjusted, income statement, and balance sheet. A trial balance is a list of all the general ledger account and their balances. It shows that the debit and credit are balanced. The purpose of this is it is to check if the total of the debits and the total of the credits are equal. And we have the adjustments. Adjustments are the changes made to a certain account at the end of the accounting period to reflect if the true financial condition of the business.
Income statement. What is an income statement? Income statement is dyan yung makita if naa ba kay ginansya or nalugi ba ka sa imong negosyo. Income statement na dira ang revenue, expense, net income, and net loss. Revenue. What is revenue? Revenue is imong kita. Expense. What is expense? Imuhang gasto sa imuhang negosyo. Net income. Dira ka makaibaw if mas dako imuhang kita kaysa sa imuhang nagasto. Net loss. Ara ka sa makaibaw kung mas dako ba imuhang nagasto kaysa sa imuhang kita. Next is balance sheet. Dira niyo makita ang assets, liability, owner's equity, owner's capital, and owner's drawing.
Preparation of financial statement. What is financial statement? Ang financial statement financial statement are formal records of the financial activities and position of a business or person or the identity. So, there are types of financial statement. First is income statement. Tira to nimo makita ng revenue o ang expenses. Second is statement of changes equity. The third one is the balance sheet. Tira to nimo makita ng assets, liabilities, katong capital, drawings, o and others. The fourth one is the cash flow. Steps in preparing financial statement. First step is prepare the trial balance. What is trial balance? A trial balance is a list of all ledgers, accounts, and their balances. For example, sa cash kay 20,000 sa debit, then sa service revenue kay 12,000 sa credit. Then, the second step is prepare the income statement. Ang income statement shows the revenue and expenses to determine net income or net loss. For example, sa service revenue, ang iyong total kay 12,000. And sa mga expenses ay salaries expense ug supplies expense. Ang total sa salaries expense is 4,000 and sa supplies is 1,000. So, ang total expenses tanan kay 5,000. So, ang total sa revenue kay kay 12,000, then ang expenses, i-minus sa expenses nga 5,000, the total net income is 7,000.
Here are the step 3 statement of changes in equity. So, this shows how the owner's money capital increased or decreased during the year. So, first you start with your capital beginning, which is 12,000. Then, you add your earnings or profit, net income, which is 7,000. Then, you subtract money you got from the business owner's withdrawal, which is 2,000. Then, what's left is your ending capital, which is 17,000. So, next is the step 4, which is prepare the balance sheet. Show assets, liabilities, and owner's equity at a specific date. So, this shows a snapshot of your business. It shows what you owe assets and what you own assets and what you owe liabilities. Then how much the owner owns in the business equity. So example, assets, what you own is cash 20,000, then supplies is 4,000. So the total assets is 24,000. The next is liabilities, which is what you owe. So what you owe is accounts payable, which is 5,000. Then owner's equity capital, which is 17,000. So the total liabilities and equity, which is 22,000. Is the step 5, statement of cash flows. So this shows where your cash came from and where it went. So there are the 3 parts. So first is operating activities, which is money from the business work like selling or paying expenses. So next is investing activities like buying or selling things like equipment. So the third is financing activities, which is money from the loans or owner's capital.
So now I will discuss about the closing entries. So closing entries in accounting are general entries made at the end of an accounting period to transfer balances from temporary account like revenues, expenses, and dividends to permanent accounts like retained earnings. This process resets temporary account balances to zero, preparing the books for the next accounting period. Let's discuss about temporary account and permanent accounts. So temporary accounts, these accounts like revenues and expenses accumulate balances over a specific period. Their balances are transferred to permanent accounts at the end of the period. So example na to, ibutan na to ang Anna's Bake Shop. So temporary account man siya for March. So revenue na to is sales 5,000 and expenses like rent or ingredients or etc. 3,000. At the end of March, back to zero kay temporary man pero ang imong profit is permanent. So every month mag-transaction jud ka. So next is permanent accounts. These accounts such as assets, liabilities, and owner's equity reflect the long-term financial status of the business and carry forward balances from one period to the next. So kanin siya pang permanent is pang long-term financial status na siya bisag main pa ang month, continue Japan ang transaction. Next is closing process. The closing process typically involves closing revenue accounts, transferring the credit balance from the revenue accounts to an income summary account. So, i-transfer na to ang credit balance from revenue accounts to an income summary account. Next is closing expense accounts, transferring the debit balances from expenses accounts to the income summary account. So, example, Anna's Bakery Gapunta, expense closing tatong akong i-discuss. In March, Anna had these expenses. Rent expense is 1,000. Ingredients expense is 2,000. So, the total expense is 3,000. Kanang matanan is debit na siya. So, close the expense account. You transfer the 3,000 from the expense account to the income summary account. So, ang atong journal entries na is credit, rent expense, 1,000. And the credit is ingredients, ingredients expense is 2,000. And debit income summary is 3,000 siya. Now, expense is 0 na siya. So, income summary 2,000, assuming revenue was 5,000. Now, subtracting expenses. So, next is closing the income summary, transferring the balance from the income summary account to the retained earnings account. Closing dividends accounts is, if applicable, transferring the debit balance from the dividends accounts to the retained earnings account. So, closing the income summary account akong i-discussion. At the end of the year, Anna's Bakery has revenues 12,000. So, sa whole year niya siya. So, ang expense niya is 8,000. The income summary account shows that the net income for the year is ang square niya formula is net income equals revenues minus expense. So, ang atong net income na to is 12,000 man atong revenue, di ba? So, ang atong expense is 8,000. 12,000 minus 8,000 equals 4,000. So, Anna's Bakery made a profit of 4,000 for the year. So, yung profit nimo is 4,000 sa year. Closing the income summary. To close the income summary account, the balance of 4,000 net income is transferred to the retained earnings account. So, debit income summary 4,000 and credit retained earnings is 4,000. Now, the income summary account has zero balance at the retained earnings account, increasing by 4,000. So, that's all.